The Ant and the Baby. Once upon a time, there was a king who had 7 sons. One day, they all went fishing and they caught 7 fishes. They brought them all home and dried them in the sun. 6 fish dried, but the seventh one did not. The seventh prince asked the fish, "O fish, why is it that you alone have not dried up?" The fish replied, "How can I dry when this big bush stands in the way of the sun and blocks its rays?" The prince asked the bush, "Hey bush, why do you stand in the way of the sun? My fish has remained wet." The bush replied, "How can I move away from the sun by myself unless the horse eats my leaves?" The prince went to the horse and asked, "O horse, why did you not eat the bush and trim its leaves? My fish is still wet." The horse replied, "My dear prince, how can I go to the bush by myself when I am tied in this shed? The groom didn't take me out today." The prince went to the groom and asked, "My man, why did you not take the horse out from the shed today? The horse didn't eat the bush got in the way of the sun, and my fish didn't dry." The groom said, "Sir, how could I take the horse out when I was starving for want of food? Today my mother didn't give me any food." The prince went to the groom's mother and asked, "Oh woman, why didn't you give your son food today? He didn't take the horse out. The horse didn't eat the bush. The bush stood in the way of the sun. Now my fish is still wet." The mother replied, "Oh prince, how could I cook the food when the baby was weeping non-stop? I was busy consoling her and had no time to cook the food." The prince went to the baby and asked, "Silly baby, why did you weep on and on? Your mother was busy consoling you and didn't cook the food. The groom did not take the horse out. The horse didn't eat the bush. The bush stood in the way of the sun. My fish didn't dry." The baby replied, "I was weeping because I was bitten by the ant." The prince went to the ant and asked, "Oh ant, why did you bite the baby?" The baby kept on weeping. The mother was busy consoling her. She could not cook the food. The groom didn't take the horse out. The horse didn't eat the bush. The bush stood in the way of the sun. My fish didn't dry." The ant replied, "I bit the baby because she poked her finger into my ant hill. Had the baby not put her finger into the ant hill, the ant wouldn't have bitten it. The baby wouldn't have wept. The mother wouldn't have failed to cook the food. The groom wouldn't have starved. The horse wouldn't have remained in the shed. The bush wouldn't have remained in the way. And the fish wouldn't have remained wet."